Welcome to the Bleep Bulimia podcast with guest Dr. Niti Sullivan, author of Naked Health. Hi, everyone. I am Lori Ann. I am the host of Bleep Bulimia, where we focus primarily on midlife bulimia, but we do invite anybody who is struggling with it to join us. Today, I'm so excited. I just love this lady, Dr. Niti. She is the author of the upcoming book, Naked Health. What a great title. And it's transforming your life by stripping down barriers to a happier and healthier lifestyle. I'm so pleased that I have you here as a guest today. Thank you, Dr. Niti.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So my first question is...
I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to be with you again.
Yes, we just for our listeners, Dr. Niti and I met 2 years ago, and she was on our other podcast, Lift Your Story, and she inspired me. She sent me her book. I read it. It's beautiful, her first book. And then now what we're going to be doing is talking to her next one, and also bringing it in because Dr. Niti has experience with people with eating disorders. So I thought it was perfect match. And I just want to ask your first question. My first question to you is, what brought you to write your book, Naked Health?
Well, it was stemming from a background, even with my first book, that I myself have health issues, and of course everybody does, right? Health is a state of flux, so we always have to deal with our health. But it was some crisis that happened back in 2008. And it's actually after I studied functional medicine, I realized stemming from childhood, from how I ate when I was a child and not knowing, what's better. And also because I have design program for my patients, and they change, they transform. They don't just change, they transform like a different person when they come back. When they came back, they totally like have it together, and they got it, and they really like strong and empowered. And so I was like, I can't keep this to myself. I need to share this with the world. I want everyone to learn about this, to know about it, so that I can be influencing millions of people, so that people can gain the benefits.
Absolutely. And I'm really interested in, what is your technique for being able to change those people? I know that there's so many diets out there and so many failed diets and diets gone wrong, which I always say was my experience, which has ended up with me having bulimia, was a diet gone wrong. For you, it's a lifestyle though, right? So please explain that.
Yes. And also, my background, I'm a pediatrician. So my superpower is I can make it simple. And I realized that it's my body spirit. You can't just focus on one thing with the diet, and as you know, it's our mind that really, can be a influencer that can make or break us, right? And so when I started the awesome program that I designed for my patients, it was out of necessity, because I wanted to help this boy that failed a different program that we try, that is like called 5210 program. It's like a government, simple but one size fit all program. And out of that, rush to try to, like, he was crying, and I want to help him so badly, and I felt so bad that he was so hurt from it, that he didn't succeed with that. So the program include the emotional part, which is our guide, right? How we feel. And that's why I totally wholeheartedly believe this is the most comprehensive lifestyle program ever. And it's so simple, that focus on all the most important components, so that it's simple. Because when it's too many factors, like you say, how much meat to eat or not to eat, the vegan, vegetarian, fasting, keto, it's just confusing when there's so many out there. And of course, we all individually different as well, and with different genetic makeup. And so, yeah. And also my background, I also was trained in gastroenterology and nutrition. And then with my health issues, I went to study integrative holistic medicine, and I'm board certified in that with ABIHM and then AIHM. So, and then functional medicine, I was guided to study functional medicine. So I study some modules of that. And so all of these, self-guided intuition, I guess, that I study different modalities of healing. I study energy healing as well. And I have tried all these on myself before I would recommend people to do them. And with the integrative modalities, I feel like it's like a delicious smoothie. You can bring the best of all worlds, right? Eastern, Western medicine, everything, because they have their strength. But when blend together, beautifully, appropriately, timely, that can bring about the highest result of the optimum health that people want. And also I came across, you probably have heard of Blue Zone Project, which is the National Geographic study that they study people around the world that live the longest, that have the highest number of centenarian. And they came up with the solution they call Power 9. So yeah, and then about longevity and stuff like that. So, and the energy, so everything come together in this, delicious blend that I feel like I'm the unique one to deliver this, all this information. And then we know about epigenetics. You've probably heard of that too. Epigenetics taught us that the environment is only 70 to 80%, and the genes only 20 to 30%. So the environment, the lifestyle is the main factor that can really get you to where you want to be, get you to your health goals. And the gene that you felt, kind of disempowered, right? Because you feel like, oh, your mom have this, your grandparents have this, and you kind of feel stuck with it. No more, because there's other factors that much more influential. Think about 20% compared to 80%, right? That's 4 times more. So you can be empowered to really know that, hey, I got a chance. That influence from my ancestor, that's 20, 30%, but I have this 70, 80%. That's the majority. So, that can be very empowering. I feel like that's the secret sauce,
I love it. And I love how you speak. I love that you say delicious and the secret sauce. And that's beautiful. And we had talked about it. I did struggle with bulimia for 30 years. And in a sense, I fear food, and yet it was my best friend. Really, emotionally, we're talking about emotions because a lot of it is about that. And then thinking you have got control and then being out of control. What you spoke to me about, which I found really interesting, is I don't know that control is the best word to use, but it's one that's used universally. And you were saying that on your program, you do have control. So it's not your bulimia that's going to be controlling you. It's going to be you being able to control your lifestyle. Does that make sense, or did I say that right?
Yeah, because it's basically you are empowered, and the program is based on you using epigenetics to be your guide and listen to your body and go forward or persistently or progressively according to when you're ready. And epigenetics taught us the taste bud change about every week or two.
Yes.
And my experience, usually within a week, they feel different. And they really, was like, wow, now I like vegetable. I can't believe it. I have teenagers came tell me that. And so when other teenagers were skeptical, I was like, trust me on this. I've done this more than a decade. And consistently, they came back and they were surprised. They were surprised that they used to love, all this junk food and they now don't even want it, and they want more vegetables.
I was going to ask,
because their taste buds have changed.
I was going to even ask that because I remember as a kid, oh my goodness, chocolates, chips, and everything. I just loved them. Today, I'm sorry, I still really enjoy chips, but I can't eat too many of them. Like after maybe 10 or,
Right.
maybe 20, I can't eat a big bag of chips. I really just can't. It's too much for me. Like I enjoy it. I let myself have it, but it's not like before. Whereas
Your body, yeah, your body tell you and you listen to the feedback. Another thing that is newer compared to the last book that I discovered just the past couple of years since I moved to California is that when I compare for you to see yourself as the queen of this kingdom or the king of this kingdom of your body, or the CEO, the chief executive officer with the trillions of cells working on your behalf, they are your worker. And when something don't go right, basically they just say, hey, boss, pay attention. Hey, like we're not doing so good, like we need your help. So basically it's the people that work for you, the cells that work for you, that lovingly working for you, just need your attention so that you can help them because you're the boss, you're the big boss. And when I told kids that they're the queen of this kingdom, or they're the king of this kingdom, and how you're gonna be good bad boss? Are you gonna be good king, a good queen? Are you gonna be like treating your people with respect? Are you gonna be like whatever? I don't care. That kind of thing. And they got it. And when they got it, it's so beautiful. I can feel the energy shifting. Like when you see that I'm the queen of this kingdom. It's a labeling, but instead, we all got label, right? And sometimes we hate label, like, oh, you have asthma, you have this, and they carry it on like a most important inheritance, right? And my parents have asthma, and and it's like, okay, like I have to have it, and you don't. And this is why I feel like when you are empowered to be your best self, and you realize you hold the keys to your kingdom, that then you can be able to guide your company or your this health system, which is the most complex health system on the planet, your body. Isn't it amazing how our body function? I mean, think about how can we lift our hand and move our mouth? Everything was so sophisticated. So yeah, you have this beautiful kingdom. Take care of it.
Now that's really interesting because I remember when I was bulimic, sometimes my stomach would be in pain, and connecting my brain to my stomach, it's like I would listen, believe it or not. I was in the later stages where I was transforming into recovery, where I actually listen, and it may sound strange to a lot of people out there that I was talking to my body parts. and it would be like, you know how much I do for you? And you're ignoring me. Do you know what I'm doing for you to keep you alive? So whether the stomach, whether the heart, oh my goodness, after a bulimic, attack, your heart's going boop, 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 and it's in there going, do you want to keep doing this to me? But you're sitting there going, well, how do I stop my brain from wanting it to do that? That is a little bit, that's where you need to learn where, yeah, it's your choice to do it, but it's not that easy. Because there's this conflict in your brain, and it's not always easy to hear, don't do it. You hear more so you'll be better if you do it because you'll feel better because you've just eaten a lot and you don't feel well because emotionally and everything. Like there's so much involved with that if you can get what I'm saying. But when I started talking to my body parts, I would even look at my hands. I didn't use my hands, but my hands or anything, and they're going, what are you doing to us? You understand you're killing us. Like you're destroying us. So this is where what you just said is really, really, really exciting, because I didn't realize that they were my employees talking to the CEO. What a great saying. Yeah.
Yes. It's a wonderful metaphor, I feel, and it's powerful. It's very powerful. And what you do, Laurie, and another thing, if can I add to that, is that when you stuck here, it's going circle, and it usually like end up exploding with something not very good, But I start with heart. That's why the emotion is a part of the program, because when you're listening and you know, with compassion to yourself, coming from self-love and self-compassion, you know, instead of stuck in the head, because the wisdom told me, it came to me a few years ago, that when you in your brain, your mind, it goes, and you can't pull the heart to help. But when you in your heart starting, the heart, first of all, is intelligence, and the heart have neurons. You know, a lot of people may not be aware of that. Another thing, you know, about HeartMath Institute, so they study a lot of these, you know, the heart brain, you know, coordination.
Yeah.
And they found these, the toroidal field, the electromagnetic field from the heart go beyond the body to like 10 feet. And the powerful of that field is 5,000 times more than your brain.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So, and it's more than 5,000 times more powerful than your brain. And then your heart, what my wisdom taught me, I just felt like I got this divine guidance, you know, is that when you in your heart, Lorian, the heart, when the heart need help from the brain, let's say, hey, I need to calculate certain thing, the heart can tap to the brain. It's a two-way street, you know, to like, hey, I need you to think about this. But when you're stuck in your brain, like, okay, I want to make money, I want to make this much money, I don't care about, you know, your heart can't get in to help at all. But when you start with your heart, that's why also I emphasize start with heart, start with the compassion, the love for yourself and others, which is our natural state of being. Anyway, our Abraham Hicks, you know, said we are 70-80% water, right? So they say liquid love. We're liquid love, really. And when we start with our heart, we can pull the brain to help with certain things, and it flows like a two-way street. And so always start with your heart. If you're stuck in your brain, come back to like take deep breath center, and I have the meditation guide in there too. So like I give you all the tools you would ever need for this. And not to say that I myself never have to deal with this, right? Because I'm human too. That yeah, I felt when I stuck with my brain, it go in loops, and then it give me headache and body pain, and it never give me any good solution. But when I start with my heart, you know, my heart say, okay, it's okay, calm down, take a deep breath, you know, like, you know, be in the moment, like the Edgar Tolle with the book of The Power of Now. So when we in the now, we're more present and we're powerful.
Yes. That's really interesting too, because a lot of people out there, business people, will say, you know, you need logic, you need business acuity, you need, which is all here. I don't think that there's a lot of words out there stating that if you start with your heart, you can request that logic from your head when you're not sure about it. And I seriously, since my quitting bulimia, and it's been 12 years now, that took me time to, because I was so emotional based and not, and I became very logic, but forgetting about my heart. And then I got confused, and that can happen too. You get confused because you want to think here, but this is wanting to, you know, say, I need to talk. The long and the short of it is in the end, I realized I'm more aware of my emotions. I can, I wouldn't say control them better. I'm more aware of them so that I can sit there and say, hey, like that was unnecessary. But there was a time where I didn't even notice I was doing it. So
no, awareness is the key. Self-care equal to awareness. Once we aware, that's the power.
Yes. Yes. I love it. I think this is great. So I just want to tap onto, I know your new book is coming out, and you have helped people with eating disorders, and you, like I, have the same motivation. I have stepped down from being a bulimia recovery coach to find on this podcast people who can speak to my listeners and be able to help them so they have a choice. So if you could speak, we spoke to that you're working with the heart. Do you have anything to say about your clients, like how you were dealing with the clients who had eating disorders? Did you find there was a something that they all had in common, is what I'm trying to say?
Well, I deal with several things. Okay, I'm not going to claim to be. I'm not a eating disorder expert expert per se, but I have treated some of them. And the bottom line, I believe that is the power. You feel like the stomach is actually, in the spiritual sense, it's a solar plexus. It's the energy center. If you're aware of the energy centers, the chakras, that's the solar plexus, which is personal power. And so it comes down to when we feel powerless, or we don't feel like we are ourselves. That's why awareness is the first thing to start, and really to keep track. You have to really, and coming to your heart, and like you say, you talk to your body, and like, even though at the time you didn't think of this concept, but it kind of, that's what you were doing. Your people were talking to you, and they tried to get your attention. And a lot of time we ignore them, right? A lot of time we like, no, I need to make money. I need to do more 12 hours shift, Yeah, and I have done that before too, and ended up hurting badly, ended up spending money more to treat myself than, right? Plus the pain and suffering that no one pay you back. That's why it's like, trust me, people, I've been there, done that. Not worth it. Like, and a lot of time have to do with trust. Yeah. So I would say trust. Have faith in your future and have faith in yourself. And I tell myself that from time to time too, that when I feel like a little bit discouraged, because I'm on this journey as well to educate and to get people to gain knowledge about this. And I've studied so much, and of course, sometimes I stuck in my head. That's why I learned this. Like, don't stuck in your head. That's not good. And yeah, but I learned from myself too, being so mental, and I went to a lot of school, so and self-forgiving, because the rule number one of the Awesome program, guess what? It's don't beat yourself up, because that's what I did. Mm-hmm. I was like so mad that I'm not perfect, that I didn't do it. Like, why they didn't say that? Why I didn't do that? And then, the torture yourself into a not in agony. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. So I know firsthand that's why that's rule number one, that never beat yourself up. This is about self-forgiveness, self-compassion, not procrastination. I told the kid, it's not procrastination. That's different. Yeah. This is like, okay, you okay, but you're going to do better. Yeah. It's not like, yeah, okay, I'll do it next year. Like, not like laziness, but it's forgiveness, because nobody is perfect. And I am not perfect. And it's okay.
Sometimes it takes a while to accept that. But
right, and
really,
that's
right?
why I'm hoping to be the teacher to shortcut some of this pain that I went through myself, and the health agonies that I learned how to get out of, and really empower people to be their best self. It's so important to me, this mission, because I went through so much pain with it that I don't want anyone to have to go through that. It's really pained me. I went to see my patients, when they like in this agony of health consequences from their obesity, and their liver enzyme went up, their blood pressure went up, and it just like almost hurting me. That I wish that that we know better. And so personal power, Lorianne, personal power that we need, and joy of living, because I think sometimes we lose track and we focus on making money and this and that, like we don't realize that we're here to have fun. Life is here to be treasure and to enjoy and have fun. And and a lot of time we torture ourselves and didn't realize that. That's why I start with the heart is very important. Your heart is all about joy, right? That when you feel joy, you connect it to your heart. And that's why another thing that I would suggest is called prescribing nature. Because when you connect to nature, when you go, like you do a lot of that, right? You walk in the forest, and the beach, you walk your dog, you play with your pets, and all these things have us connect more to our heart. Yeah. And our heart, you heard, let your heart be your guide, that your heart knows the way. And we have to just have more trust and faith in that. And a lot of time our brain say, are you sure?
They do. I do have to.
One time. Yeah,
so go ahead.
I thought if I don't use my brain, I won't know what to do. It's not true. It's the opposite. Your heart knows everything.
Exactly. I also wanted to say quickly that the heart, though, also holds the pain and the sorrows and of the past. And it's really, really important to realize that the past, yes, learn from, but don't carry it forward with you. What was, but you have the choice to make a better future, a better today and a better tomorrow. Holding on to that stuff, I was there, not worth it. What I'm looking at today, and like I said to one of my friends, Roy, I said to him, right now is the best in a long time that my life has ever been. I know it won't always be that way, but I'm going to embrace it while I got it. And then you've got
getting better.
It's getting better
every day. Trust me.
Yes.
Yeah. So what
let go of the past is what I'm saying. You've got to learn to do that. It's not easy, but you've got to learn to do it. Yeah.
The emotion partly is just out, so that we can regulate. It's like calibration. So it's a feedback. It's the feedback so that we can calibrate. Because if you put your hand on the stove and the nerve ending never give you feedback, you will burn, right?
Yeah.
But instead, the feedback came, so you jerk back and you're okay. Most of the time, even when we blink, right? Something get and I blink right away, so things don't get into your eyes. And if our body is so intelligent, you see this, our body is super intelligent. So don't underestimate. And and I say that this is what I've been telling myself, have faith in your future. You're going to influence millions of people and you're going to really stay true to your track.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's about today and tomorrow. I hope my listeners are going to be excited about connecting with you and getting your book. So I need to know more, Dr. Niti, about your book, where they can find it, when it's coming out. Please let us know, and where they can find you online, social media. Yeah,
it's going to be www.nakedhealthbook.com.
Perfect.
It's in the making. So,
yes. Do you know when it's going to be released? Do you have an idea? Possibly September. It'll be within 2022 or coming out 20?
Yes, definitely. It should come. Yeah, we're going to do the international best-selling program with my mentor. So should be within, definitely by October for sure.
Beautiful.
But hopefully even this summer. That's what I'm shooting for.
Yes. And then you have the other books. So let our listeners hear how to find you on social media. I know that your other book that my mother is reading right now is great. Please give us the title, where to find it.
It's a Project L.O.V.E. L.O.V.E stands for Lifestyle Optimization Victoriously Established. Because based on my patient came back, they're just victorious. They're just so happy.
And they can find that on Amazon.
So we are winners. We are winners. That's what we have to, right? And think about another thing, like how we became this body, right? The conception, one beat out millions of sperm, right? For us to be conceived, we are a miracle.
Yes.
So we are, one in millions, and we need to recognize that. And our body is super, super intelligent. So you have to listen to the feedback.
I love it. Thank you so much for being
with Amazon still have some of my book, I think. Amazon still have some.
Amazon. Okay, so we can find it at Amazon. And then our new one. All this will be in the notes.
But we're going to have our own website. Yeah.
And there will be a website coming up, and it will be
an online course.
An online course.
My most important project is online course. We're going to have online course that something simple you can learn as you go at home, at your convenience.
Perfect.
And it's simple enough for you to shift to be where you want to be.
Excellent. You are just so delightful. I just love you, Dr. Niti, and thank you so much for being a guest. And I'm sure we'll have you back on when your book is out. We'll bring you back on and chat more about that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I do to you. Bye-bye.